Well, welcome to On the Beat, everyone. I'm Troy Thompson. Joining me today is Will Cooper of Crowell Gillis Cooper. And today I want to talk about expungement of criminal records in the state of Mississippi. We asked our viewers to actually write in and give Mr. Will here some questions.
Good.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm glad to see it. All right. Why do people seek expungement?
Well, think about it. So whether you were arrested or convicted, that's something that will follow you around the rest of your life if it's on your record. Because as soon as you're arrested, as soon as you're charged with a crime.
I was going to say charged and convicted?
No, not convicted.
Or just charged?
As soon as you're charged with a crime, it's reported to the FBI, to the NCIC, which is a national crime headquarters, and it's also reported to a central agency in the state of Mississippi. So even though you may have later been found not guilty or those charges dismissed, you go for a job interview and they say, hey, what about when you got arrested for disorderly conduct at Ole Miss when you were a freshman? What? That was dismissed.
Can I just jump in on this part if you wouldn't mind? So even if you were found not guilty, it is still on your record.
Correct.
And an employer can ask you if you've been criminally charged for any misdemeanors or anything.
They typically include, especially like if you're going to law school or medical school, trying to get in a professional, college, they ask about misdemeanors. But not only that, if you say no, they can go check the record and it will show whether you were ever arrested.
Can anyone find this out?
Anyone that, yes, when you are applying for a job, you're consenting to allow them to do a background check.
Oh my
goodness.
Yes.
And so the thing is in those instances where you were not convicted, whether it was either dismissed, remanded to the file, retired, you went to a trial and found not guilty, you can have all of those arrest records expunged.
Okay, well, you've basically answered all my questions from the viewers, but let's go through this. How does one start the process if you have been found not guilty or along those lines, expunged from your record? So, of course, we'd have to see you, right?
Yeah, and so we would file a petition. You file the petition in the court where the charge or the conviction took place. And so keep in mind, there's actually three different things. There's three different areas where you're not convicted, where it's dismissed, those areas. And then there's misdemeanors. You can have misdemeanors where you were actually found guilty of a misdemeanor.
Okay. Other
than traffic violations, you can have those expunged as long as it's your first offense. And then there are also in Mississippi a list of about 6 felonies. Possession of illegal substances and paraphernalia, bad checks, larceny, several other areas of felonies that after 5 years after you have served your penalty for those, they can be expunged, those felonies, even though you were charged and convicted.
I find this just extraordinary, that if you are found not guilty of these things, it's still on your record.
Still on your record.
How do we know that we need to get rid of these? So you talk about job interviews and things like that, but what's that process like? How long does one take to get this off?
It doesn't take long at all once we file a petition, but here's the mistake most people make. Most people are sitting in that job interview and they learn for the first time, oh my gosh, I forgot I was arrested 15 years ago, and now they know. So if you're going to law school, medical school, applying for a job, before you do those things, if you can think back and say, oh, I had an arrest record, it could cause me a problem, you better get that checked on and do something about it.
Sometimes you scare me with your information. We appreciate you, though.
Thank you.
If you want to find out more information, there it all is up on the screen, everyone. I've been chatting away with Will Cooper of Crowell Gillis Cooper. Back after this short break.